So today we're here to discuss the probability that all the conditions needed to sustain life on Earth came together by chance. And so we're going to look at a very important number. And this number is 1 over 10 to the 10th power to the 123rd power. Now this number was developed by two physicists to describe the chances that all the conditions needed to sustain life on Earth came together by chance. So at first this number looks very confusing. I mean, is it a small number? Is it a big number? What does it mean? So I'm going to try to explain this number to you. And to understand this number, you need to understand two basic math principles. You need to understand, first of all, probability, and you need to have a basic understanding of exponents. So first of all, we're going to look at basic probability. So let's say that you have a bag, and inside this bag you decide to put a red ball, a blue ball, a green ball, and an orange ball. Now these balls are the same size and the same shape. So we are going to try to calculate the probability that we pick out a green ball. So what is the probability that we pick out a green ball? So this is actually very simple. We look at, first of all, how many ways can we pick out a green ball? Well, there's only one green ball. So 1 is the numerator, or the top of our fraction. And for the denominator, we look at how many possible outcomes could happen when you reach into this bag. Well, you could pick out a green ball, a blue ball, a red ball, or an orange ball. So there's 4 possible outcomes. So that becomes the denominator, or the bottom of our fraction. So the probability of picking out a green ball is 1 in 4, or 1/4. Now you could look at this problem the same way. The probability of picking a blue would be 1/4, the probability of picking red would be 1/4, and the probability of picking orange would be 1/4. So you have your favorable outcome on top, that means the thing that you hope will happen, over the number of possible outcomes on the bottom. So let's look at this number again. 1 over 10 to the 10th to the 123rd power. So in the numerator, we see that there was one favorable outcome out of how many? Well, to figure out of how many possible outcomes, we really need to look at this bottom number. 10 to the 10th to the 123rd power. And to understand this bottom number, we have to understand exponents. So let's do a basic review of exponents. Let's say we have 10 to the 2nd power. Well, what does that mean? 2 is the exponent and 10 is the base. That means 10 times 10, which is 100. 10 multiplied by itself 2 times. 10 to the 3rd power would be 10 times 10 times 10, which would be 1,000. And we could keep going. 10 to the 4th power, 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 would be 10,000. Now we see a pattern with the tens. The exponent is telling us how many zeros we put behind the 1 in our answer. This is a special pattern that comes with our tens. So in the case of 10 to the 123rd power, that would mean 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, and I would write this 123 times. Or we could think of it as 1 with 123 zeros behind it, which would be a really, really, really big number. Let's see, I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 right here. So if I were to write 123 zeros, I would most likely fill up this whole entire page. But we're just forgetting something. In our denominator, it's not just 1 over 10 to the 123rd power. It's 1 over 10 raised to 10th to the 123 power. So basically what this means is 10 raised to 1 with 123 zeros behind it. Now exponents are very cool because they make numbers that are small get very big very, very quickly. So the main point we're trying to make is the chance that the earth was created on accident is 1 over a huge number. Very, 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 very huge number. So the chance that all the life-sustaining forces came together by chance and were able to sustain life on Earth is very, very small. It's 1 over a giant number. A huge number, in fact. So the math tells us that, yes, in fact, it's not crazy at all to believe in creation by a creator. Thank you. For more information, please go to godmademath.com.